what do we got going on here? Draw, we got Old Witch, Litter, Alchemist, and then there's draw in both of these piles. How do I view those? Here we go. Sybil is draw. Blacksmith is draw. Actions, we got Litter. Is there any way to make Trail net villages? You could expand Trail into stuff to kind of place expand non-terminally. That sounds okay, but not like super amazing or anything. I'm not seeing a reliable way to trigger Trail. Like with the right boon, Bard could trigger Trail, like Sky's Gift or Wind's Gift could trigger Trail, but you can't count on those. Or Sun's Gift. Or Toil's a village of sorts. Herb Gatherer technically does not count as triggering Trail because it puts your deck into the discard pile rather than discarding your deck. So you don't trigger every Trail in your deck when you do that. That would be kind of busted if you did. So Trail seems okay here, but not that important actually. Trashing. Expand is kind of an expensive trasher. Is that it? The trashing looks a little bit limited. And then plus buy, we've got expand gains things, and herbalist, or not herbalist, herb gatherer says plus buy. I think you probably want to get to playing expand fairly early. That seems significant. I think I probably want herb gatherer either way. I think the question is whether you do herb gatherer potion. It's a decent way to get alchemists fast, and then you can put expand into that deck. Or maybe it's better to just do Herb Gatherer Silver and go for the early Old Witch. That's just a less pleasant game plan, but I could definitely believe that it's the better game plan. Curses can hurt if the thinning is slow. Let's just go ahead and click Herb Gatherer and see what Fircoal does. This turn will at least tell me which line they're considering. If they went Alchemist, they'd have to buy Potion here. I think Herb Gatherer Silver, Bard Silver, or Town Crier Silver would all be reasonable ways to go for the Old Witch line. But if they're not going to go for Old Witches, I sure as heck ain't. I don't want to play an Old Witch Crystalline contest. So I certainly cannot complain about my draws. Hit the turn 3 Herb Gatherer Alchemist, and top deck the Alchemist again. Yeah, this is going great for me. Don't need to rotate that yet. Alright, Fircoal's not too far behind. I think Acolyte here. I know I said Expand was only trashing, I just kind of forgot Acolyte existed. Yeah, Acolyte, the gold, the estates into gold sounds pretty decent. Even if I collide these, I can always use Toil if I have enough money to resolve that terminal collision. And you actually do, if you do that in the right order, like supposing I had drawn both of those here, I could play Acolyte first, then Toil the Herb Gatherer to hit the silver. Sorry, hit the gold that I had just gained, which would have been nice. A little bit late, Fircoal already got theirs. I think I'm ahead, just because I had the better luck on like turns 3 through 5 or so, hitting those early potion draws. But I don't think I'm won yet, so let's not get complacent. Where's the estates? Well, I would play both of these if I could, but there's not a whole lot of reason to if I have no estate in hand. None of these looks all too important. Blacksmith does nothing for me right now. Potentially it's good if I get an Elder later. And they can benefit from that little synergy. Trail, I don't think I would want to play it. Even if I could, that would trigger a bad shuffle with a bunch of estates on top. The trail in the deck is potentially a decent expand target later if I need one, but I've got plenty of junk to expand. It's not like I'm in need of an expand target. All these are just kind of nothing buys. I think Blacksmith has the more easily foreseeable use cases. Okay, now I can do the thing. Wait, why did I rotate the pile? That was dumb, wasn't it? I think I'd rather just take a second Blacksmith. Yeah. So, at the moment, I think it's 5-4 on Alchemists, if I'm not mistaken. If I get this last one, I will have won the split, which is kind of nice. I'm leaning towards litter just because it saves me a toil. Whereas Old Witch would require additional toiling. The curses do hurt. The Acceptor is probably the worst of the three at the moment. Highway is also not terrible. I'm leaning towards litter. That said, Scepters, I could play my Herb Gather multiple times if I want multiple plus buys. But I don't think I need 3 buys right now. I haven't really thinned my deck at all with this Acolyte. It's definitely improved my deck, turning the estates into golds. But as far as achieving deck control goes, those are still stop cards. So I still really want to expand. While Blacksmith is available, I would not mind trashing curses or coppers into Blacksmith. Once this pile runs out or gets rotated, the way to, I think, continue to thin coppers and curses is going to be to take at least one highway, then play highway and expand, and then I can turn the coppers and such straight into trails. That's probably the best use of trail, now that I'm thinking about it, is after you played a highway, trail becomes a really good target off of expand for gaining, not for trashing, because you can play it immediately. I mean, it's still not a bad target for trashing. I think the biggest upside is the gaining part. I'm realizing the somewhat annoying, I guess, anti-synergy of sorts between Alchemist and Old Witch, because if I always have my Alchemist on top, I never get to trash to Old Witch's effect. Let me reconsider this really fast. I'm popping the Acolyte now. So potentially I could play Herb Gatherer first and rotate the pile, so I turn the Acolyte into Sybil. I definitely want to buy and expand here. If I do it in the order I'm currently doing it, I hit 6, 12, 15, 14. I could buy expanded something. If I do it the other way around, I rotate, I would have, there's one more copper down there, I believe. I would trash any coppers. I would hit 12, which is expanded a 5, which also sounds good. But it gets me a Sybil, which I think is better than Sorceress. It's not entirely clear. I think I probably value Sybil more than Sorceress. I'm not guaranteed to curse off of the Sorceress. I don't have a good way to line it up quite yet. Pop that. Expand. And Litter or Scepter, I think. Or Highway, actually. Fircoal doesn't have a Town Crier, so Fircoal cannot rotate this pile away from me. But they could gain the last Blacksmith, which would be a minor annoyance. I think Highway is the third best of the three. I want a Highway next turn, probably, after I've done the little expand once and empty the Blacksmiths. Litter is safer because it's drawing actions. Scepter has the higher upside because I can play expand multiple times. I think I'm going with the Litter. This is very good news for me. That's just a total dud. And it's a dud that's not be top deck near Alchemists. I think I have 7 of the Alchemists. Yeah, I've got a huge lead here. Let's not blow it. Okay, what am I doing with these? Curse into Blacksmith, presumably. I could gain a silver and play it here. If I want a silver. I'm not sure I benefit from having a silver, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think my plan is to have some highways, and then I don't need silvers. I'll play it for money. Now I want a highway and a second expand, maybe? Oh! You know what I probably could have done and should have thought about, given how much money I had? Yeah. Was there a line where let's say it's like cantrip the Town Crier, draw the Blacksmith, play Herb Gatherer, buy, expand. Oh, yeah. I think I missed out on a nice interaction here, which I don't know why, but it dawned on me like the moment my turn ended after the window had elapsed. But I think what I could have done is cantrip Town Crier, draw Blacksmith, leave Blacksmith in hand, play Herb Gatherer, buy, expand, toil the Blacksmith, draw the expand, toil the expand, get it in one trash immediately, and then buy my second thing. And that would have, I mean, I still get all the stuff I wanted, but with the upside of I got to play expand earlier than I otherwise would have, which would have been kind of nice. Definitely just a miss on my part. Dokie. Another thing that I'm just now realizing as well is something I could potentially do to counter the Old Witch is I could use Sybil to top deck a Curse, and then only top deck 4 Alchemists, and then their Old Witch hits the Curse. Unfortunately, I played my Sybil for the turn, but I should think about that. The trouble is I have to play the Sybil after the expands if I want to do that, otherwise I can't gain and play things. Maybe I don't need to gain and play things here. Probably want to gain and play things. Okay, so like that top card is a curse. If I stopped here and top decked 4 Alchemists, their Old Witch would kill my curse for me, which is something. You know, there's just no way this works, because even if I didn't draw on, I definitely want to play the Herb Gatherer for plus buy, and if I play the Herb Gatherer for plus buy, it will clear out my deck. So there's just no way to top deck it this turn. I missed the window for that. Anything clever I can do with expands? Probably I want a third expand, right? Am I willing to turn a gold into an expand? I think the answer to that is probably yes. Or I could turn it into a scepter and do it that way. I definitely want to buy a second highway, I'm pretty sure. I'd like to be able to expand things into 5s as well. That sounds really nice. If I trash the curse, I still have like 10 money at the end of that, which is plenty. I don't think there's anything clever I can do right now in my buy phase. If I bought expand, bought trail to draw the expand, I'd be out of buys before I could toil it. So I think here I just choose not to get fancy and buy like an extra highway and an extra Sybil or something. Highway Sybil, highway Elder. And say highway Sybil, final answer. Now I'm going to turn off Alchemist autoplay. If I get cursed here, I think I'm going to try to top deck that curse at end of turn. I'm pretty sure I'm just miles ahead here, as long as I don't botch it. There are a lot of gains happening and very loopy things. If you're not careful, you could open up a pilot on yourself. Fircoal is, on a good day, they're drawing their deck, and they do have 2 expands. I got a bit of draw. It's not, maybe miles ahead is too much. I'm like a kilometer ahead or less. I'm definitely in the lead, but probably not quite as much as I thought. I was reading too much into that one dud. Okie dokie. I'm pretty sure I want another expand. I should also look for pilots this turn. I don't think I have that many gains, but not totally sure that I don't either. If I don't have a pilot, I should definitely score, because Fircoal might. Okay, so what's a pilot look like? Maybe I should have played this Sybil earlier. I was saving it for the Curse top deck, but I think I was thinking too long term. I trash a trail, gain another expand. And I have 3 expands in my deck and 1 plus buy. That's only 4 gains, though. Are there any loops with Scepter plus Toil? Probably not, right? What if my... No, because Scepter is not a low pile. I think I could gain Scepters and potentially replay stuff, but not very productively, I don't think. Oh, this is cute. If I play the Herb Gatherer now, I can play the Scepter from my discard. I should probably do that. Actually, I'm not even entirely sure why that benefits me, because I could just play the Scepter in my action in my buy phase. But in my head, this was a very important synergy that I had just discovered. There's probably some minor upsides to doing it in this order, potentially. Not sure what I want most here. Play another highway to make things super cheap. Probably not, because I don't have enough plus buy to take advantage of that. Probably just play another expand. Gain more scepters. Don't rotate. Now what? Gain a trail, gain a scepter, draw everything? No, not with that. Play the blacksmith. Okay, I'm gaining a trail. And a scepter. What am I doing with said scepter? I can scepter Herb Gather to play the second scepter, which is just, I think, pretty much strictly netting me an extra buy for free, which might matter. Alternatively, I could... I don't think I benefit from playing any of the draw cards to pick up the scepter instead. If I had multiple scepters, maybe I want to play blacksmith and draw them. So probably the answer is going to be Herb Gather on the first scepter. But then, if the second scepter wants to be expand or something, maybe I should leave a copper in hand. How many games does Fircoal have? Fircoal has 1 Herb Gatherer and 0 scepters. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 expands. Fircoal has 5 expands. That is a lot of gains. That is a scary number of gains. 5 expands is enough to gain this expand for free, gain 5 trails, and buy something. So I should probably try to take a lead of more than a colony. That's not easy to do, is it? One colony opens me up to expand into expand 5 things into trail, buy colony. And even that's not totally safe. Fircoal's a buy. Yeah. I gotta take the coins. Or maybe I expand. If I expand gold into province, they don't have enough money to buy a colony, so that's kind of self-defeating, isn't it? I would have 5 money left. Yeah, that doesn't do anything fancy. What about highway here? Highway also doesn't help me. Estate already costs 0, and highway doesn't get duchy down to 0. So if I do highway, colony, I could still buy 2 estates, but I could do that without the highway as well. Yeah, I think this is just colony double estate. I don't love how I played that turn. I think I misplayed that turn somehow. Perhaps I'm overestimating them, but maybe that doesn't have that much money. The risk here is Fircoal expands into expand, expands 5 things into trails, plays Herb Gatherer, and buys Colony Duchy. I don't know if that's overestimating the quality of their deck, but I haven't really played around that possibility. It does look like they're going for it. Okay, yeah, that's a whiff. I think their deck quality was still not quite there. They have the technical number of gains for it, but it's also like it's a decent bit of draw to draw all that stuff and play it all. But I still don't like that I left that open. Probably should have gained 1 less expand. Even that, like, that doesn't really increase the number of gains I need because you can gain an expand and then play that expand and sort of like it costs essentially 0 gains. It just asks more of your deck quality to be able to gain and play the expand. I'm not sure what I would have done differently, but I should have done something differently, I think, on that previous turn. This should be a pretty trivial win, though. Pretty sure it's already in hand, in fact. I could just Scepter play these expands. Alrighty, 3-2. The final game.